Yeah, they got me shadow banned. That's what it is. They got me shadow banned. I'm never supposed to pop up like this. Supposed to pop up in full screen in all my glory. Not in this fashion. They got me shadow banned. Let's see how many. Let's see how many people come in. Let us see how many people come in. We're letting more viewers know you're live. Come on up in here. 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 This is crazy. This is crazy. Are they not showing people that I'm live? Are they not showing people that I'm live? Are they not showing people that I'm live? What's going on? Bring up this NJ. Does it show that I'm live?
It does. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I was worried. I mean, like, man, I've been shadow banned.
But you know what? And this is just me. I'm gonna say thank you, Lord, for allowing that live to go down because I was coming in. It was going down.
It's
That's
gonna go
just
down.
craziness. I think that it's again the level of disrespect is not to be tolerated. I don't care what he comes in as. That's craziness. That was wild what he was saying to you. That was
Wild.
wild. Like
Wild.
the entitlement that like really the moment that what are the trigger words that get the live, that's part one. Like what are those trigger words that get the live you have to restart it? I don't know what they are. So ooh,
Too many hateful, it's the only way to describe it. Too many hateful words or words that have extreme meanings. And then you want to throw in some the triple K's, then the C word, and all these little things like that. Those are the type of things that they're looking at. And I can only say it like this:
yeah.
we know what we're talking about,
Yes.
and they want to come up and move the goal line or the line that we've set to where they want to have it established at. And whenever we try and bring it back to the main point, then they keep trying to run further and further away. And this is when they resort to using the language that would get TikTok monitoring us and saying y'all out of pocket.
Okay. I can
And go ahead, sir.
I can see that. I absolutely can see that. And you know what? I would like to nominate respectfully. as I go into my very feminine voice, the next time that they step out of line, it's not just drop them, block them. Because you know what?
Drop them and block
The
them.
the opportunity, you either come in peace or you get banned.
That's it.
There's no gray area,
That's it.
because disrespect is not to be tolerated. Period.
That's it.
We've had enough of that in our history. And our mission is to take it in a different trajectory. You want to have a conversation that is juxtaposed, go to your own live. For this one, and as they say, in the word of the Lord, for me and my house, peace shall abound. That's craziness.
Yeah, we get a lot of these little jokes that I mean, dude just came in already. I'm Ethiopian. He's gonna lead with that, with a Spanish with a Hispanic accent.
Thing that got me was my dad is from here, my mom is from here and here. Wait a minute.
Okay. So what does that make you?
Long.
You know, it's
Lost in
almost
the
like,
sauce.
exactly. So the question becomes, what does that make you, and what is your goal when you step here? What exactly are you here to learn? Because not sure what you're going to contribute, because you don't understand what has happened here on this in the SBA. And when we started throwing house in and all that, nah, you out of here.
And so this is why I try to tell them, sit down in the back pew and learn from the minister that's teaching.
Absolutely.
But you want to run into the church and run up to the pulpit and start preaching.
And act like he got the voice, like he know what he talking about, man.
Right, that ain't their place.
But that's been the problem the entire time, right? Because you feel entitled because we share the same melanin. I'm not you, and we are not our ancestors. Let's be clear about that. And the way that we prove that we're not our ancestors is, guess what? We will pull the blocked. You're not going to get the flag drop. Period. Thank you for your time.
Y'all remind me when these jokesters come up in here, just get them out the paint for me sometime, man. Because sometimes I'll engage them, I'll entertain them, and I know I shouldn't even be entertaining. It's like, man, how did I let this happen again?
That's okay. That's why we're here. Look, I was going to say, I hope I have the ability to do that, because again,
You're mine,
I was going
right?
to say, I come in peace. I come in unity. But guess what? You will not disrupt my family. Period. That's all of you.
And that's all they're trying to do. They think they have a perspective. That's why I try and say to listen. Y'all are not us, and we understand that. We are not y'all, and you all need to understand that. When we build our house, don't come steal my roofing, my plumbing, my HVAC, and run it back to your house and then say, how come y'all ain't got your stuff together?
Exactly. And that's why. And you know what, you want to know what and even the saddest part of this whole entire thing, cousin, is they don't realize that they're being used.
Because they've lost themselves in thinking that just because they have this thing called freedom,
that's right,
that they are on the same playing field that we are.
Come on.
That's exactly right.
Come on.
That's exactly right. And that's called, again, the piece that they don't understand. And this is what it appears that, we are all in unity, and really the foundation is we're trying to make sure we're not excluding anyone. We need to educate you. This is where we are. What can you contribute, but not take away? We're not going to allow that take away. So for you to contribute, you have to do what? You have to learn. You have to understand when we say we're indigenous, when we say that, there were things that were here that you have no clue about. Oh, well, that's the past. You don't understand that there's something called legacy, that things get transferred through generations. But that's common sense. You know that.
Yeah, that's the problem though.
Yeah,
Common sense ain't common.
right. But
That's the
then
problem.
and then when you know that you're disrespectful, when you're coming, I was trying to be nice and just hang out in the comments. All I heard was he started disrespecting the host. Oh, it was on.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, sister. What do you think of the prompt?
I can't see it. What was it? What was it? Ooh, ooh. No. That's loaded.
Yeah.
Um and you know what? I'm gonna say this very simplistically, that we've got to be very purposeful and intentional with how we listen to things that are not coming from a trusted source. And we have to know what trusted means. You cousins have what, you know, and constantly always provide a level of um, an inventory, a plethora of vehicles for us to have the real, or have a different lens into what's happening from the media. And that's important. Because we still are in this country, we do still need to listen with a filtered ear. That's my opinion.
Yes.
Because when we filter certain things out, we'll know, the same way that they come around us to listen to know what we're doing. Oh, we need to understand what you're doing. Now, you may only put certain things out there because you want to distract us. And we have to be careful about that. And that's why we have to go back to our trusted source. But their media is not ours. And I think that that's one of the pieces that we need to learn.
Yeah, we don't own that. We don't control the narrative over there. We're never going to control the narrative. Anybody they bring up there, black face, white face, Hispanic face, Asian face, they're not speaking. They're not speaking the truth. They're speaking the agenda. We have to understand, and we have to understand that and really know that they're not
That's
speaking the truth. They're speaking the agenda. No matter who they put on there, they're there to fit an agenda. They're there to spin a narrative. And that narrative is not ours. Until we get our own media, until we get our own broadcasting companies, until we start supporting our own podcasters, our own journalists, our own grassroots people, that's where we're going to get our real news from. We're going to get
That's why you always, if you don't look at nothing else, you always go to Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority.
that's
Because
right.
if you want to get an unfiltered, 100% black perspective,
There it is.
you have to start at the new black media.
come on.
Now, we have a host of other brothers and sisters who are out here rocking on that same boat, or should I say, whose oars are moving in the same direction as the new black media. They may not have the biggest oar, but they are making sure and have that ship moving in the same direction. And that's where we are right now. Monique, come on up, baby. I see you down here. Come on up and give us a few words. The idea is being of the elder class, I should say. we had to learn politispeak.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Absolutely.
Come on. Come on.
Outstanding
And
way of putting that. Yep.
and because we learned politispeak, we learned to see behind what wasn't said.
That's right. That's
And
exactly.
whereas these cats and kittens who are coming up now, they are sucking it up like a Hoover vacuum without any sense of politispeak.
Come
That's right.
on.
They stand in this one spot and say, "Here's my proof." Oh, wait a minute. Let me go look it up.
Oh, I love the way that was, the way that you stated that, because you're absolutely correct. And that aligns with exactly why I said that. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not only in the media that we need to make sure that we have those two, not only the foundational, uh, true, the truth for us as blacks. When you're in your job, oh my God, in your career, you need to have two types, you need to have two mentors, one that looks like you and one that does not.
You know that movie? What was it? The Butler.
Yes,
When Whitaker was in it, he had to have two faces.
yes.
That's been black people from the beginning.
And that's the thing. I think that, to your point, that's where the misconception is coming in, because the new kids are being taught that the old face doesn't matter. That's why everyone was in an uproar when it was, oh my goodness, we can't get into these schools. Hi, newsflash. They didn't want you there anyway. You know the universe that's been created for you already? That's called a historically black college and university. Everything that's out there you can get here. You need to have that experience, because you'll get an opportunity to know what it's like. Whether you say, oh, I need an Ivy League, guess what? That's why you have Howard, Hampton, Tuskegee, all of the Black Ivy League, Spelman, Morehouse.
See, they're bought into the propaganda of the PWI machine.
That's exactly right. And then you get this, if you come to me, I'll give you a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Praise God. That was not the narrative.
That degree from Harvard is much better than that degree from Hampton.
Right.
And is it? Is it really? It probably, on paper, it really may be. But guess what? You're going to come out of this scarred. I promise you that one. I promise.
I mean, they go back to, them white ice cubes are better than these black ice cubes.
That's right. Now, do I say you don't need to go to Harvard or Oxford? And I would be absolutely not telling the truth to say that I don't have a designation from Oxford. That would be a lie. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that's a lie. But my foundation came from North Carolina A&T State University, where we graduate the most black engineers in the country. When I walked across the stage, the black woman had 8 job offers before I got on the other side of the stage. 8. And that was before 2000. The average student coming out of engineering now, and in computer science, the average, and this was less than 4 years ago, the average has 6. But see, they don't tell you those statistics, because last time that I checked, you can't do anything without technology. So again, explain to me why you would want to go somewhere where you're, number one, not going to get the level of encouragement and the culture that helps you understand. Oh, well, they don't. Guess what? You have people that look just like you, that where you are the majority.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 places in this country where you are the majority. It is called an HBCU and jail.
Oh, drop a whole mic. Oh,
Say that again.
boom.
Now,
See,
a lot of
I'm
them
gonna
have
say,
no idea what an HBCU is. So guess what ends up happening? Guess where they end up? On the path to jail.
I think our HBCUs, I would classify them as the fertilizer for our future trees. I would classify them as the fertilizer for our future trees.
Yes.
And unfortunately, our fertilizer has been tainted with
Oh, yeah.
horrific nutrients.
Yes.
So we've got to put our HBCUs back on a proper course. Now,
I agree.
I believe too many, unfortunately, of our HBCU presidents today are not of the FBA lineage.
No, they might not even be black.
So
Um,
let me,
Right.
to your point, let me just add this that goes along to prove your point, cousins. The most recent president for A&T, of course he looks like us. But did you hear the word looks?
Looks.
He's not us.
the operative word.
Absolutely. So my question always says, explain to me in your background where the connection comes in. Because that to me, if I don't see that, I see a purpose that's not aligned with continuing with the legacy that's necessary to have blacks on the trajectory that they need. Now, we all know the state of North Carolina is very, I don't know if you can say the word rape. Can we say racist on here? Or let's say that.
Let's just say it's very controversial for the FBA community.
That is exactly right. Very controversial. I love that. Very controversial for the FBA community. So when you start seeing, you have EPA, the former EPA administrator, a graduate. We've got to bring that down. We've got to figure out how too many people are learning too much about that little land grant school.
Mm, you're right. Oh, so
And then we start talking about things. And that's why I scream and say things like, my family lineage, I'm from Jersey. My family lineage is rooted deep in HBCU. And it was important. I wasn't told that, oh, you have to go to an HBCU. That's the beautiful. As a Gen X, both my parents went to HBCU, a graduate. And my grandmother on my father's side as well. But I wasn't told that I had to, but by design and by spirit. And I thank God every day that I did it. Because when I stood in certain opportunities on Wall Street, and they were like, "What? How does she know?" Yes, I am that. It's because of the foundation that was instilled at those HBCUs.
See, I just add this also. This was because since the topic is the media and propaganda, this is one of the primary reasons that they had to get rid of a different world.
Yes, every and
all of the shows, all of them, a different world, and built
the Cosby's
Well,
too.
Cosby just showed a positive representation of a black family,
Yes, he did.
whereas most of America had again been bombarded with crimes and violence from the black community. So when they see Cosby, they're seeing a doctor, a lawyer, the kids raised right, talk right, nice house. See, that was an abnormality for them.
Absolutely.
But when they started talking about a different world, now those same kids, the Cosby kids, went and saw, wait a minute, that's a different side of life. Wait a minute, this one's going on. Wait a minute, that's a school that's just full of us. And we can do these things. And yes, we may have some issues on the campus. But what the campus stood for, the pride,
That's right.
the strength,
That's right.
the character,
The
honor,
unity.
the unity, yes. They had to get that off the air. We can't be having you black folks get that kind of information, that feeling that kind of juice.
Exactly.
But as I don't know if everyone is aware, guess what's on Netflix right now? Ooh, Different World.
It sure is. It
And
sure
I'm,
is.
and I'm going to say this. If you look at watch one episode now, and you can see every reason why they had to take it on. Because it gives so many different perspectives from 𝗤𝗲𝗄𝘁, who was older, had been married, and experienced life. She went back to school.
Mhm.
You saw the aspect of where Denise came in, where her parents and grandparents were HBCU alum, which came from Hillman,
Hmm.
and she was distracted. But guess what? She still was a part of that entire legacy that established the foundation. Now, she did get herself together eventually. But if you watch every one of those characters, even with Ron thought that he was graduating, and at the very end, he did not course. He did not graduate.
And the number of cats and kittens that happens to
Absolutely.
is it's too many for
Yes.
sure, but the idea of the mistakes that we make in our youth, yes, that was shown
Yes.
because that's what Ron was. Because
That's,
at the same time you looked at Ron not quite get there, you saw Dwayne go from the flip glasses
that's right.
to being one of the best professors on campus.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And you saw the care that he gave.
Insert Sinbad,
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh
a
yes,
father figure that was not related.
That's right.
right.
If you get that from a PWI, oh wait.
And you gonna be so alone.
Because guess what's happening? They don't have the time. You either follow the rules or you don't. It's not going to be, what boy, why are you in Whitley Gilbert's room? It's, thank you very much for the information. There's a report, and guess what? It goes up to the dean of students, and what happens? You are expelled.
Because
Exactly.
Hear that. You don't want to hear that narrative because you say, oh, that's not a real representation of life. Guess what? As long as you've been blessed, and I do say blessed, with melanin in your skin, if this administration has not taught you anything else, you need to get your head together quickly. Because while they're pulling tons of programs, including what was the most recent one I saw that they were pulling Section 8?
yeah, they're trying to shut down every social program that there is. They're
The-
even trying to close down the FBA grants to buy homes in the non-rural areas. I mean, in rural areas.
You see all of that. You see all of that.
You know why, though? You know why?
Because they
Because
want that land. That's what,
no.
exactly.
Well, yeah, they want the land to grow whatever they are going to call food. So the processed foods are going from in the laboratories on the back end to the laboratories on the front end, like growing.
And the growing. That's right. Because of
So,
the
but
seeds.
they really want to. Too much of us have found out.
That's exactly right.
Too
How
much.
to make money.
We found out all the loopholes that they've been jumping through for generations. And somebody went and learned it, and they got on here and they said, "Hey, let me tell you something. Let me let you in on the plot twist."
That's exactly right.
That's it.
Too
So,
much. We just talked
oh,
about that. We just spoke about that in reference to. I feel like they never expected blacks. So many of us that first of all, where are all these six-figure jobs coming from? How are they in these six-figure jobs?
That's
Mm.
right.
And all of these jobs are STEM based. They're science, technology, engineering, and math. They're
Yep.
not supposed to have that ability. And guess what? Not only did we cross over, my favorite Allen Iverson cross over and go through the hole, we opened the entire lane up.
yeah, right. Because at one point, the only
What they're not talking about is a lot of people are self-teaching themselves and getting
right.
information.
Exactly. And
Or
that's what's killing them right now. Excuse me. That's what's unaliving their, I'll say their plan and agenda because it's like, where are they getting this from? Because
each other. How about we raising each other up?
The
That's
best
exactly
thing
right.
we can do for our community and for the younger generation is bring back apprenticeship. Start training these young men and women in these specialized positions and showing them how to get the job, showing them what to put on their resume,
That's right.
showing them
I think it
what they
starts
need
with
to
our
say.
children more than our
Get
teenagers.
interviews. No, we get listen. They're going to be teenagers. I'm talking about when they're getting out of high school, because there's a y'all know there's a gap, right? There's a lot of gaps when a lot of children aren't going into college.
Right.
Yes.
They're just
They don't want the debt.
they're
They know the debt.
they're trying to go make money. You understand? They're focused like I want. I can go to college, but I need to make some money. So they're going out there. They're getting jobs, and a lot of them they start out getting jobs, and then they go back to school later. Listen, we need to grab that group of kids that are going out trying to make money and saying, "Listen, man, come on, man, come learn with me. I'm gonna teach you the game. This is what you put on your resume. This is what you say at the interview. This is how you do this specific job here. Let me show you how to do it the right way. They're gonna show you this way, but let me show you how to do it this way. And when they ask you about this, let me show you how to answer that. This is how we need to do it, and get them jobs.
Yeah, but you know,
We
so
wanna
that
make
whole
money.
system is not the same
That's
as
right.
it was when we were. It wasn't just it's not an application, a resume, and a cover letter. Oh, it's all that, and you have to give them a whole PowerPoint presentation of why, what your numbers were in a job that you never had, because why, you are just now coming out of school. Or you have to change your course of
Start giving them the
career.
experience. We got to start giving them the experience. How do we give them the experience? We mentor them. We bring them in. Hey, listen.
Exactly. I agree. I've been saying that since we met.
I'm gonna give you the letter of recommendation. I'm gonna sign off on you because you've been with me.
So can I share something with you guys? You know what we have to do? This is my recommendation, my thoughts. We're training them to go into someone else's. That's what we need to do.
Exactly. But there's such a gap in trades and skills jobs. Is such a like because the boomers, they're pretty much out the trades.
Yeah.
We're getting older. Us Xers, we're on our way out. We've learned how to make side money so we can retire early and go on vacations and live our soft life. And so now, you got them who want us to retire. I seen a video of a 20-something, like, why are these people 50, 60 years old still, in a job that I could get? And I could, go in there and ask for 90,000. They're still making 30. Like, what's the point? Well, honey, because the retirement age ain't until 72, and it was set up for us to still be here when you and your grandkids get here.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So-
But there's two things that they never taught us, though. See, this is the piece to now I will say to Too Much's point, two things that we need to make sure that we're doing. We not only need to teach them about financial literacy. Again, that's a foundational piece, but we also need to teach them about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Yep.
One of the biggest things that, and I believe that this is where we are, kind of.
We're lacking in that spot. You're
Exactly.
right. My position, I'm not necessarily trying to get my children and those under me running out here and getting a job. I want them to do like them immigrants come in and do. They looking to go start you a business.
That's right.
Exactly.
Because you trying to run and get a job, and everybody out here know a job ain't nothing but a just over broke.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what it's always been.
That's the opportunity. If you're going to a job, you have to think about it like this. You're going to a job with a purpose. If not, then guess what? We fall into that again. We may be an AI or innovation generation, but we still have a boomer mentality.
Which is getting there and stay there.
This is what I always say.
You can't stay in a job in the days of technology in the way that it is now. You can't stay in a job for 30 years. Oh, I've worked for Telcordia Technologies for 30 years. And what have you been doing? Talk to me and tell me. What have you been doing for 30 years? That let me know that you came in and you got complacent.
Yeah.
If you step into technology, you are going to have to make sure that you keep your foot on the gas. And if you don't step into technology, you still need to have a dotted line into technology. And I say this, I don't care what your job is. You all, under the sound of my voice, I beg of you to take a project management course. Period. It'll change your life. It'll also put you in a different category and an opportunity, whether you understand, well, what am I going to use it for? Start your own business. Because the same way that project manager.
Come on, she's speaking right there. This is what I always. You're speaking right there. You got cut out, but
Yeah,
you,
I was
you're
going to say,
speaking.
let me finish this really quick and I'll land my plane. The same way project managers get assigned to projects, there is a problem. The reason a project exists, it's because there's a problem or a need. The reason business exists, because guess what? There is a need and a problem that needs to be solved.
Right.
You can, this does not require you to do anything other than YouTube University. You can go over and intro project management, and even deeper than that, download ChatGPT
Come on.
and enter the prompt, what is project management? And use that as your first opportunity
Okay.
to learn and ask those exact questions, because it's going to give you the entire scope and the overview. And as you find things that are in there, go back to ChatGPT. Well, what is a charter? What is the purpose of a charter? Who does that? You will see all of that. This is where the consistent six-figure jobs land. And I don't know how many people are on this panel, but even TikTok has been advertising Scrum Alliance's Scrum Master jobs. And certifications. Let me say that.
I heard about those. Scrum Master, yes.
And I'm a certified Scrum product owner. One of the things that happens with that certified Scrum Master, again, these are opportunities that are still over six figures. And guess what? It doesn't matter whether you are 40, 50, 60 years old. Guess what? You can always offer your services, start your business, and become a consultant. I said it.
This is what I always say. I always say, listen, you have to make yourself valuable. The value starts with you. You make yourself valuable, the opportunities will come. You should never give your skills to anyone. You should always lend your skills to everyone. They need to pay. And as long as you make yourself valuable, they're going to pay. The moment you don't make yourself valuable, you're in a job. You need them, they don't need you. As long as you create value in yourself, they're always going to need you. I never put myself in a position where I need anybody. If anybody really knows me, and all my friends know this, I do not. I'm not that guy that's gonna call you and hey man, I need. No. I'm the guy that's gonna go out there and create the opportunity. I'm the guy that's gonna go out there and create the value, and people are gonna be like, they're gonna be calling me. I need. I listen. Without even working, I get at least 3 projects a year. People call me. Why? Because they need what I have. I bring value to whatever task they're doing. I work in a diverse field. I do a consulting in a diverse way. They'll call me for blockchain. They'll call me for consulting for some business. They'll call me because, hey man, I need you to deliver this over here, and I'm gonna pay. They'll call me for a diverse thing. I have a network of people that they'll just be like, hey man, I need you. And a lot of times those 3 projects I get is enough to sit me down for the rest of the year.
That's right.
And this is a part of something that, if we're going to be honest, to bring this full circle, everything what that Too Much just presented, this is how we help the kittens. Because if we don't create the lane that's available to us, we become hypocritical. Why would they listen to us? Why am I going to listen to you? You didn't even do it yourself.
And that's so hard for me because sometimes you just don't have the actual ability or the research to do it, but you have the knowledge, you know. And passing to me, the passing the knowledge on how to do a thing is way more important than actually have done it yourself or whatever. So
And that's why they've always that's why it's always there's always been a push to keep the divide. You know why? Because the divide then says, well, we have some extremely intelligent people that are in our group, but they don't have technology skills. Lo siento mucho. What does that mean? I'm sorry, and so what? But we can bring them in. They can still be this and hold this role and hold this role. But the thing is, we don't talk. We don't talk about solutions because what happens is that we have noise like the peasant that was on Too Much's platform earlier.
Yes, because he was just pure noise.
I was like, what in the world? Just turn your camera on and solve the whole problem. My
The
God.
brother wouldn't even
I
put his
didn't need
face
to. I didn't need the camera.
I didn't either. Drop him. I was gone.
Listen, you can hear it in his voice. He's Hispanic. You can hear it in his voice. And the brother talking about I'm Ethiopian and I'm Afro Latina and blah blah blah. But he came on here trying to pretend he was Ethiopian. That's the crazy part. When he had the Hispanic accent coming from California, and I'm like, man, where are you from, brother?
You know your people.
Listen,
Bizarre.
It's like, I know my Jersey people. You know California.
and I know my California people. That's why we had a girl on here named Jasmine that everybody thought was a tether, and because she sound Valley and she was black, I was like, man, she's FBA, y'all. She's FBA. She just sound like that because
that's what broke the code. Took the cake for me. He said foundational Black Africans. Oh, you know what? Never mind. You never mind.
Let's see, again, I can't listen to somebody, again, he's 38 years old, which means he got hit somewhere in the 90s. Okay, so late 80s, early 90s, which means his parents came here somewhere in the 70s.
Bro said he's
So
38.
no, he had no connection to FBA chattel history, chattel slavery history. No connection to the Jim Crow era. No connection to any of this. But wants to sit up here and say linguistics, language.
Oh, I missed all of that. See, all I heard was just the back. I was scrolling and I happened to see. Oh,
Hold on, NJ. Because I'm gonna have to close down the live soon, but I need you to go talk to us more about this Scrum Master. I'm really interested in that.
so the Scrum Master roles are really, especially people like you, too much. Those are definitely the roles that are basically going to provide you with the opportunity for more agile implementation of the products because honestly the product, the project, and the Scrum Masters, all of them work together. And with the Scrum Master, as long as you have a clear understanding, and all of this is a part of if you go to something called scrumalliance.org, they will provide you with some of them. I think some of the classes, some of them may be like $200-300, right? The class should include the voucher for the exam. I may be wrong because I haven't taken the class yet, because what's happened is, me being a CIO, I just feel that it's necessary, even though I'm at the top of the house, to always be aware of how things are getting implemented.
So you have to have a certificate in Scrum Master to do this? Because
there are, to be effective, there are the certified Scrum Masters, so the CSM.
Is Scrum an acronym?
Yes. No. Scrum is not an acronym. But again, the CSM is the acronym that is, of course, Certified Scrum Master, that gives you the ability to stand out, that lets people know that you've been exposed, that you understand. Now, again, from taking the course, you can start with Scrum Fundamentals. The Scrum Fundamentals are free. I know that for an absolute fact. And in the Scrum fundamentals, it'll include things like um, understanding what a sprint is, how doing estimations for sprints, which are basically methods that are used in order to implement the overarching project solution or the solution that's been developed. So there's a lot that it provides the foundation so that you can go into a CSN with knowledge. Now, I have no problem if anyone wants to reach out to me in the DM. We can hop on a call and we can chat about this on a, maybe three-way, hop on a Zoom, and I can go into a little more depth.
I think we should. I think this is. I'm telling. Listen, one thing I have an ear towards opportunity, and I understand what's needed.
Yes.
And when I start hearing things and I get them little spidey senses in my gut, like, hey, this is something you need to hop on, I hop on it.
That's perfect.
So I didn't already wrote it down when you first said that.
Y'all, if y'all, look, I'm chat GPT in this while she's speaking. I'm getting information. I'm like, okay, because a lot of this stuff, a lot of times you have skills, but you don't know what to call it.
But that's the whole thing, and that's the thing. And this is why I'm going to say this and hope.
That's why I asked you, do I really need a certificate? Because this is kind of what I do.
But that's the thing. It just, so if it's what you do, all it does is just gives everyone the, it lets them know, guess what? Not only this is what I do, but this governing body also acknowledges this is what I do. Just like what Cousins was talking about earlier.
I got experience.
That's the political speak.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm hearing you say is my job may be A, but even my company recognizes that my skill set is greater than my current job.
Bingo. And that will also open up the opportunity and put you in a different lane to actually not only be boxed into your current role or your current job, but then you can also open up and think about from a consultant's perspective. Could I start a small business and actually begin as a certified Scrum Master and the advanced Scrum? All of the information, again, it's in the Scrum Alliance, but of course, I have no problem with breaking things down. And I say this again with me pointing the finger, because I try to say that I have a very high emotional intelligence. And one of the things that when I was growing my career, I did not spend time with reaching back to a lot of people to say, hey, you do realize all you need to do is do this, 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 and this. And then that's exactly why I'm very vocal about always saying, I'm telling you guys this. Go to YouTube University and start with project management. If you do nothing else, look at the basics of project management. Watch it. There's 10-minute versions, there's 2-hour versions, but start there, because everything that's in project management, I promise you on my life, you already do it every single day. I don't care if you are a mother. I don't care if you are a business owner. I don't care if you get up and walk out of your home. I promise you, everything that is presented and the foundations of project management, you already know, you already do. You just, no one has ever told you, take this, this is how you map this. This is this, this is this, this is this, and this.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
There it is.
I'm telling you right now, man, it's so easy to make money, but we got to go back to, let me say, NJ, I'm sorry, man, we're gonna have to get you to teach a course. We're gonna have to get you to lend those skills, and people are gonna have to pay for it. People are gonna have to pay for it, and you're gonna have to lay out the map. See, we need roadmaps that say you do A, B, C, and D, and you can get this over here, because people are getting blown up. People are just trying to figure it out. Listen, I'm talking about people between the age of 18 and 29 that's trying to figure things out. If we can just give them some roadmaps and say, do this, not that go to school, get an education, get a good job, BS. No, because you're going to get blown up even in that roadmap. I'm talking about I'm talking about real mentor apprenticeship type stuff. Listen, come hang out with me for a day. Come get on a phone call with me for a couple of hours and pay for her time.
So this is the problem, though. Where are they going to have the money? Because if they don't have it,
No, they got to listen. Listen, don't ever worry about charging and somebody figuring out what they going. If it's valuable, if it's going to get you that success that you really want, you're going to figure out a way. That's the thing. Don't make it easy for them.
I mean, I get that part because I say the same
Figure it
thing.
out.
If you burn in 3 or 4 blunts, you can afford a course.
Make them
Yeah.
figure
They-
it out.
they gotta-
Listen,
they
you
gotta
don't
find
have
the value in
the
it,
figure
too.
out mentality. You're not gonna win anyway. Let's just keep it a buck. If you don't have the figure out mentality, you're not gonna win anyway. I don't believe in making it easy for these youngsters, but I do believe in showing them, hey, listen, if you make time, if you figure it out, you're gonna get this, and this is how you're gonna do it. You got to figure. See, listen, I make people figure out. Listen, I got homeboys. I got people that call me all the time. They try to get my time, and I'm busy. I really am busy, and they're like, man, you're a hard person to get a hold of. But you know what? They take me out to eat. I'll make some time.
And it just so happened that I'm on vacation for the rest of this week.
I'm
And
gonna be blowing up your phone, NJ. I'm sorry.
that's okay. Guess what? Look, that's okay. As they say,
I'm sorry.
as
And
they
I'll
say,
pay you whatever I gotta do, man. You
I
need a
watched
new
this
purse or
technical
something.
on
You need a new
vacation.
purse or something, new outfit. I mean, I got you. I got you.
Guess what? That's why I said don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it because my goal is to, you know what? That's why I was given, and I had to learn this about me personally. I had to learn that one of my gifts is taking things that are complicated and making it more simplistic so that everyone can understand. And one of the things that I want to make sure that it's clear, to add on and support what you said too much is, when we're looking at the youth, that they may say, oh, well, I don't have the funds or the money that is necessary. Again,
I got a solution. I created the problem and I got a solution. And we might have to have our own little chat group or whatever. Because instantly I thought of an idea like, oh, they can do it by doing this. I might be it's time, gift in kind as in time.
Y'all can use me. I'm very good at if we need to compartmentalize this and put this in a course, I can show y'all how to do it.
well, we need to get on.
That course would have to be off the public platform into a more private platform.
Yeah.
Even if it's just on Discord on Thursday, we go talk for 2 hours about this.
You give them a little bit of nuggets. You give them a little bit of nuggets for free, and then they got to pay for the whole meal. You get the appetizer's free.
Yeah.
But the meal you got to pay. We can put this. You should put this in a course type of setting where people pay like $99 and you talk for 20-40 minutes about this. Then you talk another 20 to 40 minutes about this, and you break it down, and then you package it, and then you present it to the public. And they go, man, people are gonna pay because they want to be successful, and they know they don't got to jump through the hoop. See, why would I ever go to a university when I got somebody like NJ? Why would I ever go to a university when I got a real mentor and a real apprenticeship? Now, I may not get her physical time. To get her physical time, you might got to fly out there. You might have to pay a little bit of money. But guess what? She going to give you the exact roadmap. But if you can't get her time, you better read her book or you better take her course.
And the funny thing is what I would teach you, watch this. I'm going to drop this jewel and make it make sense. What I would teach you can then be funneled back into what Too Much is doing, because he just dropped that FBA coin and we had an extensive conversation about testing. And all of this aligns with the entire full circle with the digital currency that aligns with how we need to create our own communication vehicles. That's all, as they say, that's all we're going to say about that.
We're not going to go into that.
That's all we're going to say about that without going into depth with that.
All I'm going to say is we need to be doing everything on the blockchain technology. That is the future. That's the way to go.
And see, he has the experience with that. And that's what I'm saying. He needs people, though. That's the thing when we're talking about this, and it goes full circle. It's entire full circle, believe it or not. This is one of the things that I want to make sure that I say, and then I'm going to go back to mute. We need to make sure that we are involving and getting engaged with anything that we're doing at this point in the time in the ecosystem that aligns and allows us not to be dependent on someone else. We need to enhance our own skills so that we can move in the entrepreneurial realm and really embrace that, because everyone has, and I'll say, and I'm gonna even use my brother Cousins. I think that he has the most expansive, and his language, the semantics and the way that he delivers, his voice itself, that's a part of a communication skill that is extremely critical.
The way he slows down and talks.
And he could, provide opportunities and help groom people with public speaking, because I think that that's another piece that's missing. See, we're not just talking about a quick fix. We're talking about generational wealth. I said what I said. I'm done.
Well, thank y'all very much. I appreciate that.
Hey. Man, you could have easily went into radio, Kevin. You could have easily went into.
I was just gonna say radio voice, but I'm gonna inbox you too much. My idea on, so I already had this idea for the networking thing, but this kind of adds like another to that. As far as like being able to pay the course that NJ may offer or stuff like that, and what you said about the apprenticeship, like it'll all like, oh, well, you can just do this, and for every whatever everyone I'm not gonna be able to say what I need to say without telling you what it is, and I don't want nobody to grab this idea.
Just hit me in the inbox. But let me say, because I want everybody to speak. I want Cousin, you're gonna be the last person to close out because you're gonna tell us where to go. But I want to run through these points in dealing with the topic real quick. Okay, we got to support independent Black media. Okay, this is how we do. It's not just about resistance. We also got to build. We can't just resist and do nothing. We got to resist and we got to continue to build. So we have to support independent Black media. We have to own the narrative, right? Create our own stories, write our own books, do our own documentaries. Okay, we have to tell our story. We have to teach media literacy to our children so they know how to decode the agenda. I want y'all to understand, decode the agenda. Miss NJ was talking about it. She was talking about, I think that's one of the first things she was talking about. She was talking about you got to be able to watch the media and you got to be able to understand. And then even Cousin touched on it about political speech.
Mm-hmm.
Policy speech. You got to understand how to decode the agenda. That's what our boomers have the advantage of because they lived through the start of it. That's indoctrination of this thing. They kind of understood. Okay, this entered in at this time. See, we born in us Generation Xers. We don't have that Mad Men. Have you ever seen that movie, that show called Mad Men? I tell you, you probably need to go back if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix. It's called Mad Men. That's what they used to call these ad agencies or these ad men people. They called them madmen because their job was to get the culture to change and shift and go from this to that. How am I going to get you to smoke cigarettes? Well, that's what their job was to create these ads that's going to get you to smoke cigarettes. And their thing was make it look cool, make it look hip. See, we don't understand that part of the propaganda indoctrination. We just living through it. Like, okay, now it's sociable to smoke and do this thing. And then how do they get people to stop smoking? They went through that. So they had to do a whole culture and whole shift change. They say, oh, well, you can't smoke in buildings, or if you smoke, you stink, and all that stuff. So you see a lot more people stop smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole thing. So the other thing we have to do is we have to fund our freedom. Mm-hmm. While we're funding our freedom, we have to think about blockchain technology because that's the only place where we can go right now where they can physically take gold out of your house. They can physically cut off your bank account if they want to. But what they can do is shut off your cryptocurrency. Nobody can do that. Nobody can cut off your cryptocurrency. It is what it is. As long as it's worth, it's worth. We got to move to decentralization. And again, we got to starve the beast. And what I mean starve the beast, stop watching the damn television. Stop feeding into the trauma. Unplug from the lies. Feed your mind liberation, not manipulation. That's what we gotta do, y'all.
Well, the only thing I want to add in real quick is I was going to say it earlier, but the conversation moved on. Is in order to decode, we got to recode, and that's the community code that we used to have.
Look at him. He said, decode, you gotta recode. Okay. Okay.
Yep. That's the code we grew up with that we knew.
Okay. I'm with you.
I love
Man.
it.
You
Yes,
got some
ma'am.
people on
Yes,
here.
ma'am.
Now go ahead and lead us out, man, because I gotta get up out of here, man. I can't be here too long. I gotta get going. Go
All
ahead,
right,
cuz.
family. One more time. For those who don't know, you need to know. The new black media is Professor Black Truth, The Black Authority, 𝗤𝗏 Nasheed, Afro Elite, Torian Rain, 𝗖cie Cabrera, Vicky Dillard, Too Much Moxie, and we are going to make sure and support our brothers and sisters. And I can only, this hit me a little earlier, so it's a slight change. For those of you in the diaspora who got their first car from mom and dad free of charge, which car did you respect more? Your first car or the one you paid for?
Come on.
So you appreciate the one you paid for a whole lot more. You're treated with a whole lot more respect, a whole lot more integrity, a whole lot more honor. So if the idea of having to sacrifice 10 blunts a month for a course, that really doesn't seem like that hard a sacrifice, now does it?
They need to get them some ashwagandha. Sorry.
All right, NJ, I'm gonna be blowing your phone up this week.
Make sure. I got you. I trust me, I got you. I was gonna say, and I see
I'm
everyone.
gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna apply myself first, but then I'm gonna come back with some questions.
And that's exactly, I was going to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. Everyone, go to the YouTube, get yourself familiar and start there. And then we can take it from there. I said to DM too much because that's going to give us the opportunity to know exactly who is serious about what. Because at the end of the day, the technology solutions that he's creating are going to take us into a completely different opportunity. And that's all we're going to say.
We're gonna switch your mindset. If you really understand the technology that we have at our hands right now, and we need to, I'm telling you, if we just all shift focus, think about it where we went from. It's again analog, digital, AI, blockchain. Or you could put blockchain/AI. It's all one. This is where we need to shift all of our focus to, because it's like we're in the pioneer stage. We're in the stage where billion-dollar companies are created overnight. They started here. Johnson & Johnson started many years ago, and look what it's at 100 years later. We're in that stage right now. This is the way we're going to leapfrog and collapse time frames when it comes to generational wealth. We got to think about not about just making 100,000, not about making some little bit of $1 million. That ain't no money no more. I'm sorry. We got to think about making generational wealth. When we get in that mindset, and then not only make generational wealth, teach generational wealth. Everything we say should be generational. If it's not generational, we shouldn't even be a part of it. We got to do it generational. It's generational now, because that's what we need. And listen, that's how we're going to liberate our people. That's how we're going to remove the frustration from our women, fellas, is we talk generational talk. What happened to us was generational. What we need to do now is reverse it generationally. All I got to say, y'all. That's it.
All right.
All right, brother, you have a good day. Going to get on with your stuff. Ladies, it's always been a pleasure chatting with you.
You as well, cousins. Thank you
Yeah.
for the phenomenal, I'll say the enlightenment that lets us know that we need to make sure where we need to tune in for. The
Yes,
media.
indeed. And cousin, we're gonna have to get you to cam up, brother. We can't have you hiding in that bit for too much longer, brother. The ladies want to see your
Let me
face.
go get my meds from my doctor.
The
Then I'll
ladies
talk
want to
about
see your
because
face. The ladies want to see
I
your face, cousin. They want to see your face, cousin. Just letting you know. They want to see the cousin. All right.
No
well, thank
pressure,
y'all very
cousin.
much.
Thank you.
Say it again, sister.
I said no pressure, no pressure, cousin.
Oh, cousin. Come on,
We still
cousin.
love you. We still love you
No
regardless.
pressure, cousin. They want to see your face, cousin. Come on,
I
brother.
do understand, and if for those who have looked into me, and if you have, you see, I don't post on social media. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not. I find the panels and or the conversations that I believe are warranted and are in need of maybe a little. I'm not going to say oversight, but just an overview in and of itself. And I want to try and keep things moving in a forward, positive direction because I appreciate the fact that you all say I speak well, but understand this. I'm old school, blue collar. I did not do the computer thing. Was it there? Yes. Did I take advantage of it? No. But my forte is in the other areas of life.
But
But
Well,
understand,
brother,
you
we got a
contribute
comment that
your
says his spirit speaks volumes, brother. So
the
they
value. I was just going to say, not only that, but the value that you bring to the table. We couldn't move forward without the governance that you bring, because you absolutely, again, you bring a level of completeness to a team, and I want you to always know that when I say, especially from us, that we say that we love you, we love all of you, and anything that you may feel that is the opportunity, you may need to revisit it. That's how we're going to do that. How about that? We're going to revisit the opportunity that you may have felt was deprioritized in the past. Because guess what? We're not leaving this platform is not leaving with this train without you. Just so
there
that
you
you know.
go. There you go.
well, now
And
goodness
what
gracious,
Jay
thank
said.
y'all.
All
Oh,
right,
don't
y'all.
blush now. Don't blush.
Don't
All
blush.
Too
Don't
late.
blush.
He hiding it. He hiding it. You can't see him blush. He blushing for real though. Come
Oh, I
on,
got big old cheese. It please.
come
If I
on,
could
man.
get pink, they'd be pink. But you know,
Well, you know what? I think that that's something that we always have to do, and this is my opinion. Again, I don't want to start up a new conversation, but I think that it's always important that we give our flowers from genuine places when we know that there's the opportunity. Guess what? It's us versus I'm not going to say versus anyone else, but we need to make sure that we're taking care of our own. So
That's
that means
right.
you need to have a place where you can be vulnerable. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Cool. I love the fact that you said that. Let me take you all the way back here. That's why I said this train is not leaving the platform without you.
That's right. That's right.
again, thank y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome. So anyway, peace and love and blessings to
Peace and
everyone.
love, everybody. Everybody take care.
Good
All right.
day.
Thank
All
you.
right, take care now, y'all.